going to be the team of, it's going to be Botar's team with Joey Fernandez and Swapsy playing that Turbo Cleave. And again, as Reawakened 3 is just so excited to play against them. First time we've seen these guys on stage. Let's see if they can make something happen with this right out of the start. Let's follow Joey Fernandez, see how well he does out of the start, because he was really the initiator in every single game so far.
Yeah, he loves to play super aggressive right off the start. There we see him actually using Heroic Leap, trying to get in, actually jumping in the wrong direction. Now he's going to get the charge back over here and start putting a little bit of damage into Nam. Swapsy, though, taking a little bit of damage himself, actually popping his some sort of offensive cooldown. I believe it, yes, it was actually his Ascendance that he popped there, and he's got his Wolves out as well, and had his Nature's Guardian actually proc already too, and the Shamanistic Rage. Wow, he's had to use a lot of cooldowns already in this opener from Reawakened 3.
Yeah, but Botar was able to save his trinket there, and that was a lot of offensive cooldowns coming out of both IM and Pancakes there, so well done by them. The Shalom Rage is being used by Swapsy as well. He's not going to have that available for 45 seconds. The Hexar getting so low at the moment, down to around 40% HP. Their entire team is getting rotted down so hard by this Turbo Cleave. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive. Almost in that execute range. He could just die right here. Needs to be able to survive. Gets out of execute range, but he's still not out of the woods yet. If Joey Fernandez can connect with an execute, he is just going to die. Gets out the Spirit Walker's Grace healing surges. Going to be able to top off his teams with those cooldowns. And it looks like for now, Reawake 3 is going to be able to survive.
So close. Joey Fernandez had a full bar of rage and was trying to chase him around the pillar. I'm so surprised that Hexer was able to live through that.
It was a lot of cooldowns, though, out of Hexer. It was his Ascendance, his Spirit Walker's Grace. There was the Totem down as well. He has one Spirit Link Totem remaining. Swapsy, though, getting so low, having to pop the Rallying Cry from Joey Fernandez as well as the Shamanistic Rage. Swapsy could be in a lot of trouble here. Botar trying to get over there and toss some heals onto him. Looks like he will be able to stabilize, but that was a scary moment there for Solari Blue.
Yeah, that was the Iron Bark as well, so literally everything used on the Swapsy. No cooldowns available. I mean, Botar still doesn't have his trinket available for another minute, so they're going to be in big trouble in the next CC chain that Nam and Pancakes can get out at the moment. But Hexar getting really low, down to 50% HP, but I am Nam trying to throw out as many peels as possible right now, trying to get them off the back of their Restoration Shaman. He's having a really hard time getting off some casts, finally able to get away, get off those healing surges on himself, top himself off, and they're going to be looking to go offensive here now onto Botar. It looks like he is in that bear form, doesn't have many hots on himself, able to get away, but down to around 40% HP at the moment. I am Nam, also very low with the Survival Instincts up, trying to prevent some of that incoming damage. Hexar getting feared up full there. He does not have a trinket available for this fear, and I am Nam is going to have to do a good job kiting, but at the same time, he wants to go offensive onto Botar, who is caught up, taking a lot of damage at the moment, but I am Nam into that execute range. Once again, has Survival Instincts up. He might be able to survive the Spirit Link coming out of Hexar, and this is big trouble for Reawakened.
Yeah, that was the last defensive cooldown for Hexer available for quite some time, and he's going to be caught in that stun and just go down. Nothing left that he can really use to keep himself alive there. Solari Blue just playing that textbook, dismantling Reawakened 3. That was just a very dominating performance out of Solari Blue.
It's pretty close. I mean, Reawakened
It's going to be all about the cross CC from Solari Blue. They're going to have to shut down the pressure coming out of the Ret Paladin and coming out of the Hunter. That's really all that Reawakened 3 has going for them in this match, is that just severe pressure that the Ret Paladin and the Hunter can put out. If they can shut that down, they'll be totally fine. If not, they will die terribly. So,
and of course we are going to follow Mystic throughout this game. Let's see how he can happen, see if he can make the Ret Dream live, as he immediately is going to get looking to connect on to the enemy healer, I do believe. Yep, that is the strats, and first global using those wings, using the Holy Avenger, everything coming out, and look, and they're going to turn it right back around onto Hexer, who's taking an immense amount of damage. Mystic is just trying to stick to his target, not having very much luck, and look at Joey Fernandez playing the zone defense.
Yeah, but that said, Botar now getting chased around over the back here. He has already used his Trinket and his Iron Bark. He does still have his Nature's Swiftness available. If they can stick to him, they might have been able to do a little bit more damage there, but unfortunately the offensive cooldowns have now faded from Mystic. That's a long time before he's going to have those available yet again. So at this point, they're just going to be trying to keep as much constant pressure as they can until those cooldowns come back up. They want to try and make sure that Solari Blue does not feel confident at any point here. That said, Mystic now actually looking like he's taking a little bit of damage here. He does pop the Divine Protection, and he's got his Sacred Shield up on himself now. So they're going to go ahead and swap it over onto Hexar. He's trying to get the healing surges out. He does have the Earth Shield on himself as well, which means that he could start having some mana problems if he has to leave that on himself instead of the Water Shield for an extended period of time. Mystic now caught into that Cyclone, going to shut down any possible pressure he could be putting out. Hexar looking like he's in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, almost into that execute range, throwing out that Spearling Totem, trying to get as much healing out as possible. Pancakes and Mystic still very low. Botar, though, could be in a little bit of trouble. Still doesn't have his bar skin up for 15 seconds and no trinket available. Throws out that preemptive Iron Bark on the Crows, though, going to be preventing some of that damage and empowering his heals. So he's going to be able to survive till his bar skin comes up. And I think basically what Reawakened 3 is trying to do is slowly work through Botar's cooldowns and land a kill on him. But Botar's just doing such an excellent job staying in bear form, keeping himself audited, rotating his defensive cooldowns properly. And here comes the Nature's Vigil. So another preemptive defensive cooldown just to stop the damage coming in from Mystic and Pancakes.
Mystic's wings are up in 13 seconds, though. He could be able to actually get a lot of damage in before Botar's Iron Bark comes up. That's got 23 seconds remaining on it. The wings are about to come up from Mystic. Hexer having to drop that Spirit Link just to keep his team alive. This next Avenging Wrath from Mystic may be the deciding factor in this game. He needs to be able to use it at an intelligent time, though. He's getting so low already, not having actually used those yet, just hanging on to them, and now the Iron Bark is going to be available from Botar here very, very shortly, and they may have missed their window there.
Yeah, and the bash, though, coming up from Botar on Hexer, he's in a lot of trouble, down to around 30% HP. I don't know if he has anything left to keep himself stabilized. Mystic has no boss available for him either, so Hexer's in a lot of trouble. Pancakes and Mystic all low. The wings coming out from Mystic, trying anything he can, but Hexer's almost in that execute range, just a little bit lower, and Joy Fernandez is going to be able to finish him off and move on to the top 4, but somehow Hexer is able to survive. The shockwave coming out, and that's going to be the game. Hexer going down, Joy Fernandez able to connect with that recklessness and take him out, and Solari Gaming Blue is going to advance to the top 4.
Now, probably one of the most iconic raids of all time, and one of the most story relevant. Now, Icecrown Citadel was the final raid in Wrath of the Lich King, and also the fortress of the Lich King himself, which was the main villain at the time. Now, in my opinion, this is the only raid and maybe the only expansion so far where you actually had a feel you were fighting the Lich King and that he was a direct threat to the world and that every action against Artist kinda made an effect. So it was something completely different. You really just had this feel you were fighting a greater evil and there was an actual threat to the world. It wasn't just like in Cataclysm. Even though, for example, Deathwing was amazing, he still wasn't that much of a threat, even though lore-wise he was. But in Wrath of the Lich King, there was just this feel about it with Arthas, and the Icecrown Citadel was the peak of it. Now, just entering the Icecrown Citadel was amazing. You had all these giant skeletons and spiders defending the entrance, and then just like with Karazhan, you had this multiple floor thing, which leads to the final encounter, and that was the Lich King. Now, this isn't just a regular raid or just like a minor boss. This is Arthas, I mean the one who destroyed the entirety of Lordaeron and took over Northrend and made the Scourge to what it was, pretty much a major threat to the entire world and a force of its own, completely splitting apart from the Burning Legion. Now, ever since Warcraft 3, the story has just been building up, so it finally can be finished in this raid, and once you get to the top, you actually had the feeling you were at the top of the world and at the throne of the Lich King, the evil himself. And after a long fight together with Tyrion, Arthas was finally defeated, and thus the entire storyline, which was one of the most important storylines in the entire Warcraft universe, finally ended.
King rules forever, my son.
I see only darkness before me.
And lastly, number 1, Ulduar. Now, the reason why this is number 1 on the list is because it matches all of these qualities that I've considered for this list. So mechanics, atmosphere, and the lore, and also the receival of the community. Now, it came out in a patch during Wrath of the Lich King expansion, and soon it turned out to be, as a lot of people call it, the peak of the World of Warcraft raiding. Now, it is an ancient Titan complex located in Storm Peaks, and the entire thing is just an addition to the still ongoing story of the Titans and how they got to this world and how they pretty much made this world as it is. Now, the raid itself, though, had multiple bosses, and every boss was just like a completely different thing. Now, both mechanics wise and environment wise, and the entire thing felt like a part of something. It wasn't just like one of those raids or dungeons where you just go there, fight bosses, just standing there and waiting for you to attack them, and they aren't really nothing more than just obstacles that you have to complete in order to finish the raid. While in Ulduar it was completely different. I mean, you were fighting all these crazy bosses, these constructs, Titan Watchers, dragons, and all in their own chambers that matched the entire thing. And apart from that, it felt like it was made for the Titans. I mean, everything in Uldur was giant, and you had all these massive doorways and walls that made you feel like an ant in the entire thing. And it was just something different and something that wasn't just a weekly grindfest, and hopefully there will be raid like this in the future of the game that will be able to actually match the greatness of Ulduar.
Bran Bronzebeard's forces assaulted the gates of Ulduar. They battled the Iron Lords and their cursed minions.
Evasive action! Evasive action!
He won't stop talking about this presence he felt, permeating the great halls, stirring in their minds, chilling their blood. He said, the horror that the Titans imprisoned so long ago, Yogg Saron has awakened.
So that is all I have for this list. Of course, this doesn't mean that the other raids sucked or anything like that. This is just my opinion on them from my own perspective. But anyways, which raids do you like the most and you thought were the best ones in the game? And also give some reasons why. And also don't forget to leave some